Good morning, Miss Taylor. Welcome to the Sheraton Hotel. I'm David Bowie, the Director of Human Resources. Thank you for coming in today.
Good morning, Mr. Bowie. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome. Today, we'll be discussing your application for the barista position. I'll ask you about your experience, your knowledge of coffee, and how you handle different situations. This will help us understand how you would fit into our luxury hotel team. Please feel free to ask me any questions as well.
Thank you. That sounds perfect.
Let's begin. Can you tell me about your experience working as a barista?
Yes, of course. I have worked as a barista for over 3 years at a local coffee shop. There, I learned to make many drinks like espressos, lattes, and cold brews. I talked with customers every day, learned their favorite drinks, and gave them personal suggestions. I also helped train new staff on how to use the coffee machines. I loved making sure every cup was perfect, which made our customers very happy.
That's excellent. In a 5-star hotel, consistency is very important. How do you make sure every espresso shot is the same high quality?
I pay very close attention to the steps. First, I always weigh the coffee grounds, so I use the same amount every time. I make sure the coffee is ground to the same size. When I press the coffee down, I use even pressure. I also time how long the espresso takes to brew. Finally, I clean the machine often so old coffee doesn't change the taste. Doing these things the same way every time gives a perfect shot.
That's a good process. Could you describe for me, step by step, how you make a perfect cappuccino?
Certainly. First, I grind fresh coffee and make a shot of espresso into a warm cup. Then, I take cold milk and steam it until it's hot and has a creamy, velvety foam, not too thick, not too thin. The goal is equal parts. 1 part espresso, 1 part steamed milk, and 1 part foam on top. I pour the milk and foam over the espresso. For a nice finish, I might add a light sprinkle of cocoa on top.
Our lobby cafe can get very busy, especially during breakfast or after a conference. How do you handle a rush of customers?
I stay calm and organized. First, I make sure my station is tidy so I can find everything quickly. I communicate with my team clearly. Maybe one person takes orders while another steams milk. I am friendly but efficient with guests, and I work as fast as I can without rushing the quality. Keeping a clear head is the most important thing.
Sometimes, a guest might be unhappy. How would you deal with a difficult customer?
My first step is to listen carefully and let them finish speaking. I would say I understand their concern and apologize for the problem. Then, I would focus on fixing it immediately, like offering to remake their drink correctly. My goal is to make sure they leave feeling happy and valued. If they are still upset, I would politely ask for a supervisor to help.
Cleanliness is non-negotiable in our food and beverage areas. How do you maintain cleanliness behind the coffee bar?
I have a strict routine. I wipe down the counter and machines after every few orders. I clean the steam wand after each use. At opening and closing, I do a deep clean of the grinder and espresso machine. I always wash my hands regularly. A clean station is safer, makes work easier, and shows guests we care about quality.
Let's talk about milk. What is your method for steaming milk to get that perfect, silky texture?
I start with a cold pitcher and cold milk. I place the steam wand just under the milk surface to add a little air and create a soft hissing sound. Then, I lower the pitcher a bit to swirl the milk and create a whirlpool. This mixes the air unevenly and makes the milk smooth and shiny. I stop when it reaches about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, which is warm but not scalding.
Guests often ask about our coffee selections. How familiar are you with different types of coffee beans and roasts?
I enjoy learning about coffee origins. I know that beans from Ethiopia can taste fruity, while beans from Colombia might taste more nutty. I also understand roasts. Light roasts are brighter, medium roasts are balanced, and dark roasts are stronger and bolder. This helps me explain the menu to guests and recommend a coffee they might enjoy.
Have you ever worked with a manual espresso machine, or are you more familiar with automatic ones?
My last shop used a manual machine, which I really enjoyed. It gave me full control over the shot. I learned how to adjust the grind, the pressure when I tamped, and the brew time by hand. This taught me a lot about how to make the best espresso. I can easily work with automatic machines as well.
You might have to make 5 different drinks for one order. How do you handle multiple drinks at once?
I group similar tasks together. If 2 drinks need espresso, I pull those shots together. If 3 drinks need steamed milk, I might steam milk for a latte and a cappuccino at the same time. I keep the orders in order in my mind and organize the cups on the bar. This way, I work faster without getting confused.
What do you think is the most important quality for a barista in a luxury hotel?
I believe it's adaptability. Every guest is different, and every day can bring a new situation. I need to adapt my service style for each person, adapt to very busy times, and even adapt if a machine breaks. Being able to change smoothly while keeping high standards is key.
The coffee world always changes. How do you keep up with new trends?
I read coffee magazines and follow respected baristas online. I also like to visit other coffee shops to try new things. Sometimes, I watch tutorials on new latte art designs or brewing methods. I love learning, so staying updated is enjoyable for me.
A guest asks you to explain the difference between a latte and a flat white. What would you say?
I would say that both have espresso and steamed milk. A latte has more milk, so it's milder and creamier, served in a bigger cup. A flat white has less milk and a higher ratio of espresso, so the coffee taste is stronger. It's served in a smaller cup with a velvety microfoam on top.
If a guest receives the wrong drink and complains, what is your immediate action?
I would apologize sincerely and listen to what was wrong. Then, I would say, "Let me make you the correct drink right away." While I prepare it, I would ensure it's perfect. To make up for their wait, I might offer a small cookie or a coupon for their next visit. The goal is to fix the mistake and make them feel better.
Many guests request alternative milks like oat, almond, or soy. What is your experience with these?
I have a lot of experience with them. I know that oat milk steams really well for latte art, almond milk is thinner, and soy milk can curdle if it's too hot. I ask the guest their preference and adjust my method to make sure their drink is delicious, even with an alternative milk.
How would you help manage waste and control inventory of items like milk, coffee, and syrups?
I would use the first in, first out rule, using older stock before new stock. I would measure syrups and milk carefully for each drink to avoid waste. I'd also keep an eye on stock levels and let my manager know if we are running low on something, so we never run out for a guest.
What is your favorite coffee drink to make, and why?
I love making a flat white. It's a challenge to get the perfect microfoam and to pour a beautiful latte art design on top. The drink itself has a strong, beautiful coffee flavor that isn't hidden by too much milk. It feels like serving a small piece of art to the guest.
How do you make sure every guest is satisfied with their order?
It starts with a friendly greeting and listening to their order. I make the drink with care and present it nicely. After serving, I might make eye contact and smile to see if they need anything else. If they look happy, I know I've done my job. If they don't, I ask if everything is okay.
Have you ever trained or helped to train another barista?
Yes, I have. I trained 2 new baristas at my last job. I showed them how to use the equipment safely, the steps for each drink, and how to talk to customers. I was patient and let them practice. It felt good to share my knowledge and help the team get stronger.
Imagine the espresso machine stops working during the morning rush. What do you do?
First, I stay calm. I would try the basic fix, like checking if it's powered on or needs a reset. If it's a bigger problem, I would immediately tell my supervisor. Then, I would inform waiting guests about a short delay and offer them a complimentary cold brew or a pastry while they wait. We would focus on the drinks we can make until it's fixed.
Can you describe a time you went above and beyond for a customer?
Once, a regular customer was feeling very stressed. While making her usual order, I took an extra moment to ask if she was okay. She shared she'd had a tough morning. I made sure her drink was extra nice and wrote a small "Have a better day" on the cup. She was so touched she came back later to thank me. It's those small human connections that matter.
How do you personally stay calm and efficient when under a lot of pressure?
I take a deep breath and focus on one task at a time. I remind myself that rushing leads to mistakes. I trust my training and my team. If I have too many tasks, I quickly decide which is most urgent. Staying organized in my mind helps my hands stay organized at the bar.
My final question is, why do you want to work as a barista at the Sheraton Hotel specifically?
I want to work at the Sheraton because it represents the highest standard of service. I am not just making coffee. I am creating an experience for guests who are on vacation or on an important business trip. I admire your commitment to quality and luxury. I believe my passion for coffee and my dedication to guest service would allow me to contribute to your excellent reputation.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That is very well said and appreciated. We've covered a lot, but I want to ensure you have the opportunity to ask any questions you may have about the role, our team here at the Sheraton, or anything else.
Thank you, Mr. Bowie. I do have one question. Could you tell me a little more about the team I would be working with in the lobby lounge?
Of course. It's a close-knit team of 6 baristas and 2 supervisors, led by our food and beverage manager. We pride ourselves on a collaborative culture where experienced team members mentor newer ones. There's a strong emphasis on supporting each other, especially during peak service times, to ensure seamless guest experiences.
That sounds like a wonderful and supportive environment. Thank you for explaining.
You're most welcome. Are there any other queries?
No, that was all. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, Elizabeth, thank you again for your time today. Your experience and thoughtful responses have been impressive. Our interview process involves a final stage with the food and beverage manager. You can expect to hear from me via email regarding the next steps by the end of next Wednesday.
The pleasure was entirely mine, Mr. Bowie. Thank you for such a welcoming and informative interview. I am even more excited about the possibility of contributing here. Have a wonderful day.
You as well, Elizabeth. We'll be in touch soon. Goodbye.